Hello, everybody.
Hi!
So, I
We're
have
going
something
to be
special,
reviewing your birthday pen.
which was
An amount of time ago.
And
Or maybe it's
last
yet
year
to
for my,
come.
last year for my birthday, I got a Pilot Custom 74, which I love. And this year, I got a Grail pen. And yeah, so it's kind of funny.
It's a nice pen.
And anybody who's looking at it goes, oh, Pelikan, right? Pelikan is a German brand.
Pelikan is great.
Mhm.
We actually have our Pelikan stand here.
Yes, I got this as
It's in theme.
that came from the last Pelikan Hub in 2022.
Do they make Pelikan inks?
They do make Pelikan
do,
inks.
right?
I don't have any Pelikan ink.
That sucks because it would be perfect.
I do. I know.
But Pelikan
so
is a great brand. They make some really nice pens.
yeah.
They have some really good Earl pens.
Anyway, so it comes in this rather nice little clamshell box, and when you open it up, inside it says Passion right here,
and it has a little leather pouch.
It comes with this sort of leatherette.
I think it's leather.
No, it's like a vinyl faux leather.
It's supposed to replicate leather.
But it says Pelikan and it has the logo.
It has a nice printing in it.
Yeah.
Basically, what they do is they take wood block and then press it on really hard.
They probably emboss it in some form. But it has the Pelikan logo with one chick. Over the years, the number of chicks have changed. Anybody knows the original number of chicks? Let me know in the comments.
We'd love to know.
You're not going to win anything. It'll just be for my education. So you open it up, and here is the little pen. And it's a Pelikan M405
lovely pen.
blue-black.
And if I'm not mistaken, some of these little slits are ink windows, right?
Well, let me tell you a story about
Isn't that what I'm told?
Well,
Mom, I heard you and Mom, Pen Mom, talking about it.
Recently they changed the manufacturing process. I understand.
Yeah.
And
different resins and stuff.
Different resins probably. So you have the blue lines, and then you can see these black lines, but the black lines used to be transparent. And
are they
nowadays I think they have started manufacturing them with opaque lines, so they're not transparent.
So this pen doesn't have...
Actually, though, I ordered this from Cult Pens in the UK, and they had sort of a mixed stock that you couldn't order which one you wanted, and I got really lucky, and this has the transparent black lines.
So you got one of the older copies.
I got slightly older one in there, and I was very happy about that.
That's a very nice thing. That's a nice little detail that I think. And I love ink windows.
I like ink. I like ink windows too.
They're very pleasant.
They're a great little feature, especially on a pen like this, which is a piston filler.
They're useful and are good for aesthetic.
Yeah, and this is a piston filler. A lot of pens are cartridge converter filled, and some are piston filled, like TWSBIs are piston filled. There's vac fillers, but this has a piston. The piston knob is at the end, so it's a screw cap. You undo it, and you get this beautiful little gold. It's a 14-karat gold nib, but it's what I believe they say it's palladium coated.
It is lovely.
Yeah, and
let's
now
hold that up to the camera.
Yeah, now the Pelikan M400 series, the Souveran, comes in different sizes. Okay, so I have the smallest one. Yeah. And it comes in the M400, and then there's the 600, which is slightly larger. Then there's the 800, which is once again slightly larger. That could
probably fit in like your pocket.
And then there's the 1000, which is a big one compared to this.
It is a good size.
But for me,
you could probably fit that in your pocket.
I'm very nice. I put this in my pocket. Yeah. Now I'm a big fan of vintage pens. I like collecting vintage pens. I like fixing them up. One thing about vintage pens,
they're smaller.
They tend to be smaller. So somebody who is familiar with modern fountain pens and they get their first vintage pen, they might be kind of disappointed by the size.
From what I've heard, apparently people's hands have gotten bigger over time.
Actually, you know,
I
I
don't
don't.
know.
You know what?
That's just something I've heard before as a theory of why, but maybe
You know what? I don't know about that.
I'm interested in it. If anybody in the comments wants to correct us and be like, this is why it does that,
Well,
then tell
you know,
us. I'm curious.
I think of people doing more like Prince Edward Island like 50 years ago was
But
very
more just
rural,
putting it in your pocket
and
and stuff.
people used to work more with their hands, so their hands would be larger and stronger. I think so. I think maybe our hands are getting smaller. I'm going to say that. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
I'm most likely wrong.
I've just heard some theories.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to fountain pens in particular, that's one piece of evidence I've heard used.
I think people just like bigger fountain pens. I like smaller
Overall,
ones.
yeah.
I don't have big hands. Put your hand next to mine.
Note, I have
dirty hands.
The smallest hands.
You have the small hands.
So I have a small hand.
You have kid-sized hands. I'd say I have medium hands. They're not overly huge. But some people, I know some people that have huge mitts, huge hands.
Yeah.
And they probably would find this small. But for me, I quite like it. And also, even though it's a Grail pen, it wasn't outrageously expensive compared to the M1000 is quite expensive. But this for me is was the one I wanted actually because I really like the size. And as I say, I love vintage pens, right?
Yeah. When it comes down to it, the issue of being into vintage pens is if it's a nice vintage pen, there's typically a lot of demand and not very much stock. And if you know economics, you know that means expensive. So they're a bit pricey or just at least hard to find.
Well, you can still get some really good deals.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree, but it just is hard to find good deals, and then there's...
If you hunt, you can find.
People doing stuff,
and I've had some really good luck with vintage pens. But so anyway, back to the pen. It's a piston filler, 14K nib. I have a fine nib. If you're used to, say, Japanese pens, you're going to find the fine nib almost closer to a medium or a broad, maybe. It's a lot thicker than, say, a Japanese Pilot fine. Okay, that's one thing I noticed. And even actually, for a fine, the Pelikan seems to be even broader than some European fines. Anyway, that's just something I noticed, but I don't mind. I like it. What can I say? It's not a heavy pen. I think it's like 14, 15 grams, empty. And what I have in it right now is, I believe I have, actually, I have Pilot Irashizuku Konpeki in it right at the moment. And so
have ink in it.
I have ink in it. And I have Pilot. So it's a Pelikan pen with Pilot ink. The fact that they both start with P neutralizes the explosive qualities of...
It's close enough.
It's close enough.
Good enough, right?
Yeah. I've not actually tried any Pelikan inks. I should see if I can get some samples.
If you have any recommendations for Pelikan ink samples or just any Pelikan inks that we should check out, let us know, because we've never done a review on them.
Not yet.
We don't own them.
But we'll get some eventually. Yeah. So blue-black is the color. Now, this is M405. The 5 tells you that the nib and all the little cap rings and the clip and the section here will be silver colored. If it was M400, there would be gold trim on the pen.
I think the blue and black design works better with silver.
Yeah, so if it ends in a 0, if it's like a 400, 600, 800, 1000, that's gold trim. If it ends with a 5, that goes silver.
I personally think that
but I like the silver.
It looks better with a silver.
Yeah. Now,
because it just fits the blue and black aesthetic.
I seriously thought about getting a green. But I don't actually have a lot of blue pens, and I was visiting a friend, and we were talking about her favorite pens, and she showed me her M405, and I was really taken with the color, the beauty, the beautiful blue. Um, my camera doesn't do it justice.
It is
It's
amazing.
a
It has
beautiful
like a
color.
sheen in the
It has a
resin.
sheen to it and
It's
shimmery
beautiful.
and it also with the silver trim and the black cap and the black grip section and the black piston knob. It's just classy. It is too classy for me.
It's definitely a pen that
Too
you
classy
should
for
look
a
into.
too classy for a rough guy like me.
Yeah, this just random hobcob together show.
Yeah. Now, and as I said, it's a Grail pen. You know, like so for me, it's a Grail pen, and a lot of people it's probably a Grail pen.
Oh yeah.
And Grail pens are funny because when you get your Grail pen, you go, oh, is that the end of my fountain pen hobby? Now that I have the pen that I dreamed of,
It's like,
is there another pen that I want? There isn't a couple other pens I want, but like, it's like, wow, this is really beautiful. Do I need any more pens?
the answer is yes. You always need more pens.
Yeah, especially when I'm into vintage ones. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little writing sample, the quick.
It's satisfying to get a Grail pen because you finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
But then now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, this is a beautiful pen.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at how nice that is. Does the feed keep up with the writing? I'm curious.
With the ink flow? Yes,
Yeah.
it does actually. It has a very nice...
it writes well?
Yeah. Now I'm going to, when this runs down, which will actually be fairly soon because I've used it quite a bit, I'll probably experiment with another blue ink, another brand, see which one really works well. I have Waterman Serenity Blue. I'll put that in someday. I think Diamine Oxford Blue is going to look really nice in this.
Yes.
That's a very nice blue-black. Blue-black ink would be perfect in this.
Honestly, I don't
And
think
the
that
Irashizuku is a beautiful ink. A little light for it.
What's the Serenity Blue?
Mm-hmm. You think it'd be too light?
I don't know if it'd work with this pen.
Yeah.
It might be a bit too light, and it would work better with other pens, I feel.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. It might be the greatest thing ever.
We're going to take a little look at a couple other features. What do you notice about the clip? What's it look like?
A feather.
No? Take a closer look at the clip. What do you see when you look at that clip?
I see a tie.
What's the pen called? Pelikan.
Oh, it's a pelican beak.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tie.
Well, I can see that.
You know,
but when you look at it,
it has the little
it's
V up there.
It has the little eyes right here.
Now.
And there's the shape of the beak.
That is lovely. And I like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little thing that I really enjoy in a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Weird thing to say.
Now it's hard to see here.
It kind of curves inward a bit, which
it has the shape of the profile of a pelican.
A really nice, but also that makes it have like a really nice grip.
Yeah, and on the cap, on the finial at the cap, there's a little pelican. It's a little hard to see here. It's sort of engraved.
It's easier to see
silver,
in real
but it
life.
Seems like it's laser cut.
It almost looks like a sandblast.
Actually, it is actually. It's almost laser cut.
I think
I would
it
have
might
to
be
think,
a sandblast.
Maybe there's little. When I looked at it, there's little engravings. It's not an enamel, but when you run your finger over it, just run your finger over it first. You can feel the texture. Right?
Oh, they probably used
like an engraving. And
I assume that for that they actually did like a very fine silica bead sandblast.
Oh, okay. I'll have to figure that out. Actually, when I looked at it, you can see when I looked at it through a loop, you can see a grid pattern in the engraving. So I think it's engraved on. Yeah. So it's a pelican, and
it is lovely though.
I believe there is one chick, and around the cap it says Pelikan Souveran.
So about what time period would Pelikan have one chick?
Nowadays. Yeah, I would have to go back and look at all the different.
So did it like start off with more chicks?
I think at one time it had 2, and I might have had 3 at one time.
So did the pelican's chicks die?
No,
is that what's implied?
No, they grew up and they flew away. So anyway, so let's do a little size comparison. So that's the Pelikan M405, and this is a Lamy Lamy 2000 next to it, which is actually quite a bit longer than the M405. This is a Sailor Pro Gear, and actually, the Pelikan is bigger than the Sailor Pro Gear
Sailor
Slim.
almost looks
It's
like...
very small.
It almost looks like... that. I'm just saying, that Sailor almost looks like porcelain.
Yes,
Ooh.
it's a very nice white.
That's
now
really white.
This is not my first Pelikan. I have a vintage Pelikan from the 60s.
Yes.
And
it's a very nice
It's a very nice pen.
I'm pretty sure
quite a bit different. This is typical of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Modernist design. It takes a lot of influence from, say, Parker 45, the Mont Blancs at the period.
If we look at
Pilot pens of the period, they all have that streamlined look. Also, and even then, look at the clip. It's very stylized, but you can still see the fact that
it's a Pelikan.
It's a Pelikan. Even on the old...
But the thing is, another thing about the clip, you can kind of see how it's changed over time. Because one, it's very like a curved, nice, almost organic design. And the other has no curve. It's straight lines. It refrains from it. Yeah. So it's interesting to see the difference between one brand just from different time periods.
Yes. So this is like, say...
like, they're both very similar pens, but different in many ways.
This is from the early 60s, 64, 65.
Yeah.
This is today. Anyway.
I love this pen.
It's a beautiful pen.
It is amazing.
Yeah. And I have to be honest, it might be my favorite pen.
It's your favorite pen?
Well, I have lots of really nice pens that I'm really fond of. And some of them are surprising.
That's a nice pen.
Yeah.
I think that it's got to be one of my favorites from your collection.
It is. Yeah, it's a nice one.
Maybe sometime I should do a review of some pens of yours.
Maybe someday you should do a review of your favorite pens from my collection. I wonder what that would be.
Would you be interested in that? Like,
let us know
a video of me looking through pens and picking my favorites?
Picking your favorites.
Just a thought.
What's Pen Kids' top 5
Do you want to see that?
I'd like to see that. That'd be fun.
I want to do that.
All right, we'll do that someday. Maybe we'll do it fairly soon.
Maybe.
But anyway,
well,
the Pelikan M405.
Lovely pen.
Lovely little pen.
Look at it.
And
it's beautiful.
Well, I know I've talked about Grail pens before. What are your Grail pens? Let me know in the comments.
Give us just a list.
I think if I was to say what my other Grail pen is at the moment, it would probably be the Waterman's Karen. I think that would be nice. But anyway, I hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're new around here, we invite you to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're doing new videos.
But
all the stuff.
We hope you
enjoyed
this.
Just realized I have not actually looked through this box to see. I pulled out the pen. I got completely absorbed by the pen. Oh, there's like a little information booklet inside. We should have looked through this stuff before we did the video. I've actually bought really expensive. I've had expensive pens, and they've not sent like little things like this. I like this.
These are nice little details.
I'm gonna look through this. Gotta keep it. I keep all my boxes. Part of the hobby. Anyway, have a great day.
Dad just collects everything related to fountain pens possible. It doesn't matter if it's quite literally just some random wrapping paper. He will hang it on the wall and display it as an art piece.
Not quite that bad.
I'm kind of exaggerating, but, you know.
Okay.
Hope everybody has a great day.
Bye-bye.
It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.